Hey, late for school, what's up? It's a culture detective here investigating your favorite movies, and today I'm going to do a quick improvised review of a movie I watched 2 nights ago, and didn't have time yesterday to film this review. I'm not gonna have a lot of time today to film this. I don't have any time tomorrow to film this. I don't have any time on freaking Saturday to film this because I'll be on a film set, and then I probably wouldn't have time on Sunday to film this as well because school has begun and I will have no life again. So, anyways, I'm just gonna quickly talk about Emilia Pérez. This is a new film written and directed by Jacques Audiard, who has won not one but two Palme d'Ors, a double whammy, with his film A Prophet and Dupin. And now he's back with Emilia Pérez, which is premiered in Cannes Film Festival this year. And what in the actual fuck is going on with Cannes this year? I genuinely have no idea because Cannes Film Festival 2024 is nothing but chaos from what I have seen so far. Obviously, we have great films like Anora, but then you also have films like Megalopolis, which is one of the most controversial films of that festival because of how messy and crazy it is. But some people love it, some people hate it. It's very divisive. And then we have other films like The Shrouds, which again, super divisive. Now we have Emilia Pérez, which is equally as much of a hot mess as Megalopolis. But when Megalopolis came out, a lot of people hated it. But when Emilia Pérez came out, the initial reception is really positive. People are praising the film for being bold, out there, representation, etc., etc. And then Emilia Pérez has its wide release. It's released on Netflix. People watched it, and oh, begin the internet hate because the internet hates it. Film Twitter hates it. So I watch Emilia Pérez myself to find out if it's good or not. Now, on paper, it does sound like an absolutely insane film that's gonna somehow work because of how original and creative it is. And I love original creative films, don't get me wrong. This is a musical crime thriller, and it is also a trans story. It is about Zoe Saldana, who plays a lawyer for a mafia boss who transitions into a woman, and she, as an Emilia Pérez, is the woman in question. Emilia wants to reunite with his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend and her children, and that's the main plot. But a lot of this film feels like it's being made up as it goes along because a new plot gets introduced. Audiard also touches on disappearing people in Mexico, which is a huge issue, and then there's also a side romance storyline. So it is a lot of things at once, and none of them meld together at all. And when you try to make a film about so many different things at once, you end up not being able to talk about each of these things insightfully or interestingly. Instead, the film just becomes a mess. So that's my first complaint, is that this film, it's a freaking mess. It's a narrative mess. Second of all, this is probably the most controversial thing, and that is Audiard later in an interview said that he actually didn't do any research on Mexico because ultimately this isn't a Mexican film. It's a French film pretending to be a Mexican film. It is done in poor taste because it once again portrays Mexico as this cartel-filled land, and even if it is, it's done without any nuance or tastefulness or insight. It's only a plot point. Similarly, the trans representation in this film isn't good representation either because Audiard never really explores Emilia Pérez's personal journey when she was transitioning, but it is just using her as a plot point. Now, on top of all that, the songs are freaking bad. They're terrible. there isn't a single good song. And let me just say, I appreciate that this film is committed to being a musical, because compared to Joker 2, which I also recently saw, Joker 2 isn't that committed to being musical. This film is. But every time it sings, every time a character suddenly breaks into song and dance, it just feels very awkward and jarring. It's like, whoa, what the heck? Like at some points, I can't even tell if someone's singing or dancing, because they would half sing, half speak a line, and it would just be like, wait, has the singing begun? The vaginoplasty song is terrible, but the song afterwards is even worse. The doctor lawyer duet is worse. The Selena Gomez karaoke, are you freaking serious? Do I have to see that? The only few things I like about this film is I think the cinematography is competent. It's competently shot. I like the high contrast. It's like Leo Carra, Bertrand Benello, that kind of French high contrast. I like that. Second of all, I do think that the premise is interesting. I do appreciate the ambition behind the film, but nonetheless, why nominate this film for any award? Why even do that? I don't know. It's mid. Don't watch it. I'm giving this film a strong 4 to a light 5 out of 10. So, have you watched Emilia Pérez? Comments below. Let me know if you have your one more. Thanks for watching. I'm late for class. Bye bye.